An American-born man who pledged allegiance to ISIS gunned down 49 people early Sunday at a nightclub in Orlando, the deadliest mass shooting in the United States and the nation's worst terrorist attack since 9/11. The gunman, Omar Mateen, 29. ISIS considers itself the Islamic Caliphate. Within the areas they control, they have established a reign of terror second to none. They have institutionalized slavery and rape. They struck with a vengeance beyond their territories. Suicide attacks in Baghdad, Beirut, and Ankara killed hundreds in October 2015. They detonated a bomb aboard a Russian airliner. In November, they orchestrated a multi-suicide attack in Paris, killing 229 people. ISIS was born out of the U.S. invasion of Iraq in 2003. ISIS grew in notoriety through aggressive social media and viral video strategies that had it engage with sympathizers and glorify violence. It beheaded many of its victims, including U.S. journalist James Foley. It often filmed executions through drowning, burying alive, and shooting. Mateen committed himself to ISIS before carrying out the bloodiest mass murder in U.S. history. President Barack Obama addressed the shooting, stating that it was a homegrown terrorism. Mateen was put on the terror watch list twice by the FBI, but was found no credible threat. They stated that he was no harm to the U.S. government. Many Americans view this as a terrorist attack, but also many view this as a hate crime against the LGBT community. His parents, born in Afghanistan, stated that once on a trip to Miami, he saw two gay couples kissing, and it struck a nerve with him. ISIS seeks to inspire sympathizers to carry out attacks with or without operational support from the group, and then claims responsibility for the carnage after the fact. Ramadan, beginning Sunday, June 5th, and ending Tuesday, July 5th, a holy month from dawn till dusk, fast, prayer, and reflection. It is observed by Muslims worldwide, but militant groups including ISIS and Al-Qaeda have used Ramadan to pretext and ramp up attacks and gain attention. Homosexuality is seen by scholars to be sinful and perverted from the norm. All Islamic schools of thought consider gay acts to be unlawful. They differ in terms of penalty. We'll probably never know Mateen's exact motives, but his actions and those who know him have provided some clues. Mateen's father, ex-wife, and co-worker have all described him as homophobic, suggesting that he deliberately chose a gay club as his target. ISIS, which has repeatedly publicized its execution of gay people, is definitely anti-gay. Mateen doesn't seem to have received any help purchasing weapons or planning the shooting, and he doesn't really need it. He had 2 gun licenses, one for his job as a security guard and a statewide one, and reportedly legally purchased the handgun and semi-automatic rifle he used in the shooting sometime last week. Mateen was familiar with ISIS protocol for the lone wolf operations. A couple years ago, ISIS spokesman Abu Muhammad al-Admini began urging sympathizers in the West to kill whoever they could. Do not ask for anyone's permission, he said. ISIS has since made it clear that announcing one's loyalty to the group during an attack or after an attack is enough to turn it into an ISIS brand mission. In the radio announcement on Monday, the Islamic State, known as ISIS, described the gunman Mateen as one of the soldiers of Caliphate, a term used by the group both to refer to its fighters enlisted under its command and on the battlegrounds of Syria and Iraq. With felicitation from Allah the Almighty, the brother Mateen, one of the soldiers of Caliphate in America, carried out a security raid in which he was enabled to enter into a gathering of crusaders in a nightclub for followers of the people of Lot in Orlando, Florida. Allah enabled him to subdue the impure crusaders, killing and wounding more than 100 of them before he was killed. May Allah accept him. It should be pointed out that the invasion is the largest in America's terms of the numbers killed. This attack is not just a terrorist attack from ISIS, but it's also a hate crime against the LGBT community. In 2014, the FBI reported that 61% of attacks were against gay men. Hate crimes due to perceived sexual orientation are against lesbians, 2%, and against homosexuals, 1%. Oppression hasn't always existed. The oppression of gays and lesbians and all sexual minorities is one of modern capitalism's infinite contradictions. Capitalism creates the material conditions for men and women to lead autonomous sexual lives, yet it simultaneously seeks to impose heterosexual norms on society to secure the maintenance of an economic, ideological, and sexual order. In the early 1900s, homosexuality was even deemed a sickness, and it was treated with a variety of cures such as castration, electroshock therapy, drugs, being committed to an asylum, diet, and exercise programs. We may never know Mateen's true intentions for the Orlando mass shooting. Events leading to the shooting leads to a hate crime against the LGBT community and a terrorist attack from ISIS. Both reasons are causing oppression against two groups. One, the LGBT community, and one, the whole United States as a whole. Due to the superior mindset of all groups involved, it created a division in society. This isn't the first attack, and it will not be the last.